In Zoom.
The defendants, go ahead. Like, all rise. The 14th District Court for County of Washington, State of session. Those affidavits before the court draw near. The Honorable Judge J. Cedric Simpson preside.
You may be seated. I need a file. Yes.
I have files.
So she's not here.
She's in the waiting room, but I think I think Mr. Friedman has more information.
I'm sure he does. He always does. All right. Court. Well, are you going to bring her in? I don't know why
She's not here. She was here, Your Honor. It's a mess. I'd like to approach if I could.
Yes. We'll need to bring her in. But she's here. So
Really?
I don't know why she's.
She was here personally a minute ago, 10 minutes.
Was she?
Yeah.
She and
I mean, I just admitted her. I personally haven't seen her, but
She was present in court. I sent her.
she's unmuted now.
Miss Brown.
Yes,
Okay. Where are you?
I was just there. They told me to leave. I can come back.
Okay. All right. Well, I'll let you stay wherever you are right now. Okay. I think, let me call your case. Court calls the case Sycamore Meadows versus Demita Brown.
Ellis treatment for the plaintiff.
And Miss Brown is present via Zoom. Mr.
At this point, Your Honor, I think that Ms. Brown and the staff at Sycamore are going to get together and try to figure out the exact balance and how to get it paid. Ms. Brown says she has approval from Hawk for a payment that's been approved, and I'll take her at her word for that. So I think at this point we'll dismiss. If the case can be resolved, I'll refile. But I don't want to keep it on the docket at this point. So I would suggest that since no answer's been filed, that if I'll just move to dismiss at this point without prejudice.
Okay. Miss Brown, is that good with you?
Yes, that's fine.
Okay, very good. This case is dismissed. That's without prejudice.
Thank you.
All right. Thank you.
Thank
Bye-bye.
you.
All right. Okay. Can I go off?
Yes.
We off?
Court stands in recess.
We just need your video.
Yes, ma'am. Court does call the case of Douglas Eichenhauer versus Shirley Tuck.
Morning, Your Honor. John Calvin appearing on behalf of the plaintiff, P74477.
Good morning, William Amadeo, P66194. We have a Miss Totten to my left. Shirley, please state your name for Judge Simpson and staff.
Shirley Patricia Totten.
All right, thank you. All right, this is the adjourned date for trial. Counsel, where are we on this?
Well, Your Honor, unfortunately, we're not at resolution, so I'm just going to ask brother counsel and yourself for a few weeks for her to leave the premises. At this point, I tried to give her Samantha Roddy got me some information for her, and nothing will get her in a very quick period of time. It's going to be at least a few weeks. She also got in a car accident yesterday. So what I'm intending to do, Your Honor, is we get a few weeks for her to try and get in one of these facilities. I'll actually pay for a hotel for a week if that helps expand the time. And I'd like to refer her to my wife. Maybe there's money for her in a car accident. I don't know. I don't know what else to do. I really don't want to see this woman kicked out. I do understand the law is on the plaintiff's side, but there is a long-term relationship. She really has nowhere to go. And what I did explore for her, it's not an overnight solution. There's also some reluctancy based on the length of the relationship, Judge. I mean, they're still driving here together, which is not your problem.
No,
It's not your problem. I do think it's something that's important for the record to say, look, I don't know what to do legally to help Shirley, but I don't want to see her be homeless. I am willing to go into my own pocket. I'm willing to do some research. I want to help her. I don't have the immediate fix, Judge. And I don't think a trial makes sense for the court's time. I mean, legally, they're 100% in the right. Morally and ethically, I want to try to do something for my client, and I don't have the quick answer. I've tried to do some research.
all right. Any response to that?
Not really, Your Honor. I think Mr. Amadeo and I have tried to do what we can to figure out some sort of solution for her. I think we are where we are, and the court's given as much leeway as it could. And I think at this point, I'm in agreement that really a trial isn't necessary, but it's really a matter of trying to find a solution. I know Mr. Amadeo has been working hard on that. We're pretty much at the court's discretion in terms of the timing. I mean, I'm asking for a judgment or a conditional dismissal if we can get her moved out. I mean, that might be preferable in terms of the effect on her, but
right. So what time frame in terms of even a temporary solution are we looking at?
From what I've researched, and Shirley will have to do the digging because I can't actually make those final goals for her. But I'm thinking if you gave her 3 weeks, and if that still wasn't enough, I would actually pay for a hotel for a week for her. So maybe 30 days. I would say as far as a judgment, if brother counsel's talking economics, I'm certainly working for free and she's infant. So I don't think money would help. But if we gave her 30 days to at least try to find a solution, I think that would help. And I will put on the record, you're still not in a place in 3 weeks. I'll pay for a hotel for a week. I want to try and get you as much time as I can.
Okay.
When I called those places, they said that it's months wait.
Yeah. Okay. So that's
And Your Honor, I think it's worth mentioning, she was in a car accident yesterday. I don't do civil litigation. I'll refer to my wife's firm. There might be money there for, but as you know better than I do, that won't be overnight either. But I'm trying to see what venues we could get her to have some economic support.
okay. So I'm at the 25th today. Okay, so this is what's going to be the reality of this circumstance. The reality of the circumstance is for her attempting to try to find housing, frankly, 3 or 4 weeks isn't going to do, given the circumstances. It's not going to happen. There are a number of reasons. One is just the lineup for housing, which I think Ms. Dunn was sort of indicating, and the response she's going to get when she calls as to how long it might be. That's number one. Number two, where there were circumstance And it's in this case where somebody's indigent and is looking for housing. Currently, there is no funding to assist individuals to move. So that creates a problem. Our other issue is this. As it moves out this time of year, and it sort of into November, December, all of those things get much more, I guess, constricted. So the timeframes of getting housing expand. Everything expands except a pool of money that assist individuals. It's just how the housing circumstance, particularly in this county, and I presume elsewhere, works. You contacted Hawk, correct?
That one of the places you contacted?
Housing Access for Washington County.
Yeah, I even went there way months ago and they told me it was months and senior housing could take a year or two to even, that you gotta get on all these lists. They said if I had little kids, it'd be different, but I.
Right. No, and you're absolutely right. If there were younger children, there are programs available that do that. So you said a couple of things there. One, you contacted them, met with them. And so when you met with them, they were talking about relocation services, right?
Right, but they.
Okay.
They're, even when I went, they said, financially would be to pay a utility bill. They've never had this kind of situation either to deal with.
And just to add to that, Judge, I do some prosecutorial work in Lenawee for the Department of Health and Human Services. I thought maybe they could help, but because she's not a resident of Lenawee, for X amount of time, the money first goes to Lenawean people that will need help. So it is a rock and a hard place for her.
Oh, no, there's no two ways about it. So did they talk about, in this circumstance, attempting to try to get you moved up on a list?
No, I mean, I will try and call again today, but like I said, it's not a hostile environment. It's just
I know. If
trying to control. And that's why when I wrote you in August, it's like Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. You don't know what you're gonna wake up to. One day it's okay, the next day it's not. And, our daughter has all these plans. And I says, how is she gonna, because she still don't have a license, another controlling factor.
okay.
Whatever the personalities are, Judge, I mean, we understand what the law is. I just don't know where she goes at this juncture. And that's my concern, not even as a lawyer, just as a human being. I don't know where to turn for a woman.
Well, it's the same problem I run into every Friday on my landlord tenant docket. I mean, and irrespective of what's going on here, same problem. So what, in this circumstance, when is his lease up? January what?
I believe it's the 12th, 13th, 14th in that area.
Okay. Okay, so here's my thought, folks, and I'd hear from everybody on that. I would do I'd sign a conditional order dismissal, which would entitle plaintiff to a judgment and a writ. The timing of that, I think, is important. And I'll explain why. I would prefer that the conditional order dismissal, that the judgment not enter or would not enter until the end of the year. And here's my rationale on that. There may be funding which is going to happen in the county. So if that happens, there can be an earlier move out date. But my experience with this in the past is once that happens, there is then this ramp up period that has to occur before anybody can get access to it. And I'd hate for her to get caught in that. And my my suspicion, and this is just again based on my experience, is that that's going to come forth because we're getting into the winter months. And I think it's going to force people. It's going to force people to do things that maybe they should have done earlier, but didn't do earlier. And so my rationale is to take it to the end of the year. His lease is going to expire in any event. That will give also you a little bit of a breathing space to try to do that and to do whatever. I would suggest and make part of the conditional dismissal that you have to recontact Housing Access for Washtenaw County, as well as, have you had any direct contact with the Housing Bureau for Seniors? Have you talked to them directly? Do you
And I
know?
went to that office, I can't tell you all the people I talked to that day, because I went through the whole thing, but I mean, I will get back on the phone again today.
Okay, so I would like part of that conditional order dismissal that three particular things that she has to contact. Housing Access for Washtenaw County. DHHS here in Washtenaw County, as well as Housing Bureau for Seniors. Okay. And then I would, I don't think so, be comfortable, but I'll say it that way. I'd be comfortable signing off on one that entitles them to a judgment first of the year. Okay. Ms. Todd, anything you want to say regarding that?
No, I'm still, like I said, in shock because nothing has changed, you know?
I know.
Even last time when we left, I made his doctor's appointment. I went to him with his appointment last week. I do everything. Like I said, he might pay for everything, but I still do everything.
Yeah, I know.
Surely the 3 areas that Judge told you have to contact, they were on those lists I gave you.
Right, that's the same paper that I got.
Okay. So, but I want to make sure that those are contacted. What may help also is that if you have that conditional order of dismissal that says that there will be a judgment, that, and I can't guarantee it, that may move you up on list.
So does that get mailed to me, or do I wait for it to be typed up today, or?
Well, council's going to prepare that and then get it to me and I'll sign off. All right.
And Judge, I don't want to play relationship counselor, but my secretary would actually help her, like be on the phone with her if that helps at all. I don't know if that will help. I also don't know what's going on inside the house, if they reunite or anything like that. And I don't know the whole history here. Like I said, I do want to try to follow the order and help her. And sure, I can help you make calls if you need help with the calls. But
He hasn't cut off my phone yet, but he's threatened that, yeah.
understand that Judge in a tough spot. He's trying to help you right now.
All right. So that's what the court will sign off on. It probably won't make anybody happy, but it's, I think, given all of the equities and everything that in this case, that's what I will sign off on.
Judge, do you need us to submit the order right now, and write it up, or can I type it up and email it to council?
Yeah, you guys, you can email it and then do it that way.
Sure.
You
That
guys-
way you'll be able to read it when we submit it.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, so I will mark this case as COD order to follow in 14 days.
Thank you.
Thank you, Your Honor.
Thank you. That is it for us today. Amazing.